Hello and welcome to the Project Cars Xbox Retro Oval series. It's round 3 in the Lotus 98T. So the most modern one they've used. They used Lotus 78 and the 72 before, and they'll be racing on the 3 classic circuits: the Daytona Tri-Oval, Texas Speedway, and Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So they'll have to brush up on their oval skills and get cracking with it, as it's quite tricky, especially in this Lotus 98T. It's super powerful with all the turbo and turbo lag as well. As you can see there, we've got Stu Davis top of the table with 43 points, 10 ahead of D-Man, who's only 3 points from Loopy, and Chanel with 29 points, only 1 behind Loopy. Then a bit further back, Scuderi Sam and Chris Doherty. Then you've got Free Gazelle, BTC Sedan, Roger the Dodger, Big Bad Wolf 10, and then you got Seamus and Swayzer down there with 4 and 2. So it's all pretty close at the moment. Obviously Stu's got a bit of a lead, so he could win this championship if he wins a couple of races and on to qualifying at Texas Motor Speedway. BTCC Dan takes pole from Chanel, and then Alex joins us, who's not usually into ovals, but he's doing it for this one. Gets third, then Stu in 4th, Loopy, Chris, Free Gazelle, and Big Bad Wolf. Away we go at Texas Speedway on the formation lap, and then off. Great start there from the blue machine. Looks like Loopy all going together, not too bad at the moment, no big crashes. They're all nice and spread out. It's quite tricky with these because they're such wide cars. Someone touching the wall there. We'll have to learn the liveries as we go, because everyone seems to be changing their livery. But Speedsea's Dan leading away from Stu, who had a fabulous start there, going all the way up to 2nd now. Chanel jumping to 3rd. Chris in 4th. Ooh, that looks like Alex. Yeah, that's Alex spinning off. He's hit the barrier and he's way into the pit lane. So disaster for him. First oval back and he's in the barriers. And now massive group going into lap 2. BC down with a bit of a lead, and with these cars it's a bit different. You can close the wastegate off, so you get a nice turbo boost. You'll see Chanel doing around the outside, absolutely flying, and takes the lead. You can see a couple of the other cars mimicking now and absolutely mugging BTCC Dan, who's dropping down to 3rd place. And joining me this evening on commentary is Ian.
Yeah, we had quite a clean start there relative to some of our previous oval excursions. It's all nice and tight at the front. Only Alex have been a bit unfortunate as we started the 2nd lap, but yeah, it's all kind of nice and clean here, and some interesting lines. There's just a bit of a moment there, but it's all keeping all together at the moment. As you see Chris looking at making a move on Wolf on the outside, and it's quite tight at the front at the moment here. As the top 7 covered by 2 seconds, so that's quite impressive, so hopefully that can continue.
Yeah, and as you get on board with Chris now going through the middle, it's going to be quite tricky, especially with cars moving and trying to gain position, and that boost feature is going to be quite a nifty thing to have, especially if you save it for when you need it, because it does take a bit to charge, usually about a lap or so. So when they deploy it, they'll be flying straight past, and obviously they won't be constantly on the throttle when they use that, as we see on board with Chanel. And she'll be using it on the straight, getting crowded out there by Free Gazelle, and yet you see it just flies past Wolf. I think Loopy used it as well, but he's on the outside. Same livery car, so it's going to be tricky to guess between those two. And you can just see the benefits that the boost gives all the way up to 3rd now, but she'll have to be careful with the cars behind using theirs, and won't want to block them too much. And then straight into 1st, just shows how powerful it is. And but here comes the others now. BC Dan back up to 1st.
Yeah, it definitely adds an extra dynamic. You've got the normal slipstream. That did not go well. Because you've got the normal slipstream, and then you got the boost factor. But yeah, a wee moment there, and it looks like somebody's off in the background.
That's Wolf. Yeah, that's Wolf with a massive crash into the barrier there. He'll be dropping down the table and probably be back down with Alex, who's on his own at the moment. So what was basis 7 is down to 5 now. I think someone else is spinning out there. Might be Loopy as he's dropping back.
Yeah, it looks like
Yes,
Luke tangled with Chanel there, just in the background. So that's left a massive gap at the front. But it's a bit unfortunate as Luke drops the back there.
Yeah, there is trying to recover. It's quite hard getting these things going, but he's down in 8th, especially with spin. There's a amount of torque and turbo lag. Looks like someone else off there. Is that Free-Gazelle? Yeah, Free-Gazelle's just dropping. Oh no, it was Chris. Chris is dropping quite rapidly, so something's happened there. So what was a nice healthy group at the front's down to only 4 now. So Beats is down, Stu, Chanel and Free-Gazelle remain. Free-Gazelle's a bit further back now, so down to 3. It's all kicked off that last lap, but they're dropping off like flies.
Yeah, we're just saying what a clean start it all was, and then it all started kicking off. So yeah, we've got Beats, Dan, Chanel and Stuart Davis at the front here. So it's then we're 3 really, as we see 8 seconds now to 4th place. So it's going to be a very interesting fight between these two. They won't want to be adding to the carnage, but also got the eyes on the W now. So see how this plays out. But the halfway point, and there's 3 in it.
Yeah, and the man in third, Stu Davis there, he'll be after the championship as he is the leader, so he'll have to play it a bit cautiously, work out when he needs to do the boost. He's going higher line there, as we see Dan in first. He's probably using his boost now just to get that little gap. Obviously Chanel and Stu will have their own ones when they want to deploy it, so it looks like Chanel's deploying it now. Yeah, just flies around the outside, nothing Dan can do. It's must feel gutting on board that, seeing the car go flying past, but it's going to be tricky for them when to work out when to use it, when not to, especially in the closing stages, as one false move and you have to touch the brake and you've lost that for a whole lap and you can be back down in the pack. And talking about pack, it looks like a little midfield battle starting to brew up, as you got Wolf and then Alex not too far behind him, and then Free-Gazelle just ahead, so this could be very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting fight here with Wolf, Free-Gazelle and Alex here, just all trying to recover after the various incidents at the start, but could make for an interesting mid-pack end, as we see Alex trying to get up the inside here, I think, and that's is that Luke just that's Coke, that's Chanel there, just coming in second place, got a bit of a gap now, but still with the boost function, they're still all within the margin here for victory. So yeah, bit of a tense battle forming at the front here, but they'll be cagey about how they deploy their boosts, and hopefully maybe get a slipstream on each other if they can.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting, but it seems like Stu's just backing off a bit. He's happy to get the podium in 3rd place, and it's guaranteed good points, and whereas if he'd tangle, it'd be, who knows, back of the grid, and that's not what he'd want. But you see leader now, you see Dan still just ahead, Chanel keeping him honest. He won't be able to get too far away, as here she comes again. Definitely seems like the boost going into the home stretch, into the turn 1. Looks like Dan's blocking off a bit there, so it looks like it works. Chanel was gaining massively and just had to back out, so it could be a case of getting your opponent to brake a bit, losing that boost, and benefit in your own race. So that's smart driving there. Yeah,
definitely seemed to be Chanel's strategy there, just picking up the slipstream and then trying to boost out the corner. But Dan seemed to be wise to that and is just trying to cover it off a bit. So it'll be interesting to see how they go between those two. But we've got a bit of a gap on Stuart Davis now in 3rd, who's just trying to conserve, as you say, trying to conserve the championship positions now. He's up in a good podium spot and just looking to make the most of it, as we see Alex and Wolf having a good battle here. Now that they've had the moments in the race, but now they've got a good battle brewing between them two. As you see Alex just trying to line up Wolf to get in the draft there, and potentially boosting up at the front, but Wolf will be wise to that as well, and be keeping his point to when he can deploy his boost.
Yeah, it looks like he just used it there and absolutely rocketed away, and here comes Free-Gazelle on that. He's going to be careful, he might get done by both of them, but like you said, he'll have his own one at some point and be fighting back. It's such a massive speed difference. It's As you see, look at that, just flies past around the outside. Nothing Rich can do, but next lap, Wolf will have his own one, so it'll be basically like chasing your own tail with these two. They're just back and forth battling, so it's a bit more clean cut when it's just two of them, but in a big group it's going to be pretty interesting, as Freakazoid also have his boost, so he'll be able to get closer. And talking about getting closer, beats CC Dan in the slipstream of Chanel there. Not long left. It's obviously only short lap around an oval. It's only 28 seconds for the faster guys. 2 minutes left, so only a handful of laps remaining as we go on board of Dan. You can see Chanel using the boost, and as you can hear the engines arrive, everything closed off, and he'll be flying up to the back of it now.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Chanel got the jump on him there, but he's now powering his way back up, so not long to go. He'll be keen to get back within striking distance as we see him closing up again here. Keen to get back into striking distance as we move into the sort of final minute of the lap, but if you're looking at the lap times, Chanel just slightly faster than Dan at the moment, but he's coming within striking distance. This could be an epic finish.
Yeah, but it looks like just pulled a nice gap there with the boost up perfect there. I know Dan's catching up now, but he's taking his time, whereas before it was basically neck and neck, and now he's having to use it for the whole lap just to try and catch up. And you can hear Chanel just using it now, and she'll be gone again. So not much he can do. I think this is Chanel's race to lose at this current time.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. As Dan, that's him now. He's closing up. That's him now, nearly a second and a half away. So yeah, it just seems to have played the strategy game out nicely as we look at Chanel coming in.
I think she coming in for the win there. Just beating BC's Dan, and gives a nice little victory tap. And Stu coming home in third. I think that was more deliberate than on accident. Just trying to gain all those points he can, and then Alex and Wolf coming through. Alex just pips Wolf across the line, then Freakazoid coming home sixth, and I believe he's Loopy in seventh. I think Chris retires. Yeah, retired's not on the final sheets there, so a great win there from John. Played the long game perfectly with the boost. Under a second from Dan in the end. It looked a bit further than that, but it's obviously not. And then Stu coming home in third on the final podium spot from Alex, from Wolf, Freakazoid and Loopy.
Yep, Loopy had his moment earlier in the race, but yeah, it was interesting battle with Chanel and Dan in front there. Dan just edged on lap time, but Chanel playing it perfectly to get the win there. So nice to be there in the championship. Leaders, Studios coming in this and third, so interesting start to the race.
Yeah, we'll move on to, I believe it's Indianapolis. Yeah, it says there, qualifying Stu loves this place, so he gets pole from Chanel, Loopy, Alex, Stan, Freakazoid, Bad Wolf, Chris in last place, and all besides last week within touching distance. Only 7 thousandths between the front two, and away we go. It's 3 abreast for enough, it's a bit different. And there's carnage already. That's half the grid out. That's huge. It looks like Alex, Wolf, Chanel as well involved. That's massive. As Wolf, not Wolf, it's beat Dan. So Wolf gets away in first, Stu second, Freakazoid and Loopy battling side by side with Chris just behind him in the white and blue machine. Almost banging wheels. Looks like they're going 3 abreast. They are in turn 3. Chris on the inside. It's so close. Who gives way? Great little battle there, but that was chaos on the start there, wasn't it?
It sure was. After a clean start to the first race, it all went off on that one. Those cars flying over, looping the loop, and they all tangled up very quickly. But now got a bit of battling on here. They'll be mindful of that, given how the race started, and just try to settle down and build some pace here. But yeah, that was quite a start.
Yes, Stu goes for the lead here. Going to go around the outside. That's very brave. Wolf on the inside. No, he doesn't quite get it. He just backs out. He didn't want to slide into the pits, into the barriers. There's Freakazoid in third place. He's gone well in these ovals. He seems to really enjoy it. And Chris now fourth, Loopy in fifth. Then the three unfortunate victims there at the start, Alex, Dan and Chanel, probably be working together to try and get back, but just shows what happens when that boost kicks in. It properly kicks the back out and causes all sorts of chaos. And chaos is what we got.
Yeah, it certainly is. We're looking at Wolf getting moving. That's Chanel recovering after tangling at the start, one of the victims in that massive smash. But Alex now on AB to Sedan, another one recovering after the unfortunate start to race, and had good pace in the first race, so looking to try and make his way back. But Alex is hassling him all the way as looking and trying to get a move on around the outside. But Dan will be a tough man to pass, so very dicey here.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether, because they'll obviously all be speaking to each other on comms and whatnot, would they be trying to work together, just using the boosting together, using the slipstream and overtaking when they can, and just drag each other forward? Because that's the name of the game in overall racing, is that slipstream, and trying to keep it within it. As we see Loopy and Chris battling. Chris on the inside of Loopy here, he'll get the inside for turn one, and through he goes. So great little manoeuvre there, and if these two work together, they could be on for a podium spot.
Yeah, definitely. At this stage in the race, with the distance to drop back, it definitely makes sense to work together. But it's easier said than done sometimes. But with the slipstream and the boost, it's certainly a very powerful weapon. You can if to get yourself back into it. So it's worth doing if we can sort it out. So look at a few Zell going and then move at the front. With the gaps as they are, it's definitely worth it if you can. But these two will just be focusing on the work to get the front as we look back here at still from Gazelle and that, and there's a few more cars getting involved here at the front now.
Yes, those two have gotten on to the lead pack. Free Gazelle takes second away from Stu, and it looks like he's going for the lead off Wolf here. It's very committed driving. He's definitely up on the slipstream now as Stu falls into the clutches of Chris in third and fourth place. Will Free Gazelle have enough boost to get past? It doesn't look like it. He's just being the slipstream, but he's trying around the outside. That's very brave. Wolf takes the inside line. Free Gazelle on the outside. Doesn't quite work, and here comes Chris with his boost. Takes second easily, but will he get Stu in first, who's used his now? So where's Wolf gone? He was in the lead.
Yeah, it looks like he's just dropped back a bit behind now, and David's standing on, so something's going wrong from there. But yeah, as you see, now he's back in the clutches of Dan and Alex, so that's quite a drop off.
Yeah, whether he just had a little incident we missed it while watching the guys back for second and third, but that's really unfortunate. But it looks like he's straight back up to fourth, Dyson with Loopy again, and talking with Dyson, these two are still at it, whether they're working together or not. It's we'll have to find out later. But just seeing these old cars, you can't see it hardly anything, just in the mirrors, and only now do you see BTCC Dan going through. But these cars look fantastic. They probably look like the old 80s Indy cars, even though they are obviously the Formula 1 cars.
Yeah, they're great looking and a nice sound, especially when you've got the boost going as we're here and here, just all out. But yeah, it was we Gaggle cars here, so this could get interesting again with that's Eugene, Wolf, Dan and Alex all together. So yeah, they'll be looking to maybe hold themselves back up as they go to the front there with Free Gazelle closing in on Chris here. So maybe just see if we get a move around maybe down the outside.
It looks like he's going to try, but he's sticking to slipstream. Looks at the inside line. Have to be conscious of Stu in third again. He probably won't want to be there. No, this is getting dicey. Looks like it's 4 wide. I think that was Dan pushed into the wall, and it's still 4 wide. This is mental driving. Like this smallest touch, and it could all end in disaster. Alex looks like he's just gone ahead, but he'll be done by the slipstream by the 3 on the inside. It's the two Momo red cars and Loopy on the inside. Oh, and they clash. Loopy and he's gone flying into the infield. He's almost like an airplane. He's reset the car and away he'll go again. So he'll be down with Chanel, unfortunately. But that was bound to happen. Trying to go 4 wide. They don't know what they were doing there. Then they've got these guys 3 wide now for the lead. Free Gazelle, Stu, Chris going to turn 1. Chris down to third now, with Stu and Frigazell takes the lead, so he'll be trying to keep that and get his first win. He'd be desperate for it at this point.
Yeah, he's shown some really good pace, both in qualifying and on the oval races. He's been really close a couple of times, but he's just be hoping he can hang on now. He's going to be made to work for it every step of the way by Chris and Stuart Davis. So he'll be hopeful, but he's as Chris goes down the side of him again. So still got a lot of work to do if he wants it, and Chris is going to give this up easily.
As we see, talking not giving up easily, we see Dan and Alex still battling away. They'll be trying to catch Wolf up, and it looks like they're about to do it now. Dan to the inside, Alex to the outside. Oh no, and they clash, and he sent Wolf and Alex into each other in the home stretch. That's disastrous. It looks like they're still going only just about, and that's not going well, but that's the way it is when you're in open wheelers.
Sure is. They fared better than Loopy, who just was like sent to the airport by Dan as he was on the grass. So at least they managed to keep pointing in the right direction. But it's very, very tough going from there as we look at Chris now. Again, mounting a challenge on Frigazell. He's going down the inside, and it's got him again. But these two are still going at it with a few minutes to go in the race. But, oh no! That's Stuart and Frigazell, looks like.
Yeah, that's disastrous for the championship leader there. He was on for good points again, and he's been absolutely bullied out of the way. I think, like before, just closing and locking wheels in that centre. He's still second for now, with Frigazell tumbling down to 6th place with these guys. But Stu will have Dan, Wolf and Alex all hot on his heels trying to get him, as we see the two blue cars, Chanel and Loopy, battle away. A massive unfortunate incident at the start for Chanel means the race 1 winner is now back in last place.
Yeah, it sure is. Pleased to get a few points back, but it didn't go well from here. Look at Alex now trying to build himself back up after a bit of carnage. But it's been carnage across the field now. Chris was able to establish himself out in front, and Stuart Davis following him in second. But it's all to play for with this last podium place with Dan and Wolf. So it's hot up here, and got Frigazell's just dropped back a bit now after his incident. So it's certainly a very interesting podium fight here.
Yeah, Dan takes second from Stu, and Wolf takes third from Stu as well in the other red Liberty cars. We see he's Chris. Oh, there he is. He's got a nice lead now, about 5 seconds. But he's unscathed all of the incidents. He wasn't involved, luckily, so he's got a nice lead now. And only if these guys can catch up, and it doesn't look like it, 'cause there's not much time left, as we see the old teammates Crash and Bash battling away there in the Momo red cars. Got a nice gap to Stu now, but obviously he'll probably have boost in a minute, so he can use advantage of that. And looks like they've just dropped Alex, so he's on his own, and same with Frigazell. But these two at the back, they're still battling away in the two blue cars, as we see. It looks like Chris coming home to take the win at Indianapolis.
Yep, certainly. So he's been made to work for at times, but it's been a nice wee finish for him. So he'll be pleased with that, all things considered. And it's Crash and Bash who've crashed and bashed their way to the final 2 podium spots.
Yes, who takes second and third? It looks like Beast down at the moment. Wolf gets the no, it's second for Dan, third for Wolf, and fourth for Stu, as they still hit each other over the line. And Alex takes 5th, and then looking back at Frigazell and Loopy, who gets 6th, 7th. Oh, will Loopy get 7th? Here comes Chanel, just takes it at the end. She gets 7th place, Loopy back down to 8th. Used the boost perfectly there.
Yep, certainly did. So that's Chris Doherty gets the win with BTC Tan coming in 2nd place, and Big Bad Wolf with 3rd place, and Stuart Davis another fine 4th place for the championship. So he'll be pleased with that. Alex gets 5th, Frigazell 6th, and Chanel just pipping Loopy to the final spot there in 7th. So, but yeah, what a race, and what an instant packed day, and All things considered, a 4-second advantage for Chris at the end. He'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, especially after the calmness of race 1, race 2 really kicked off, and then on to Daytona qualifying. Stewart yet again on the podium, on the pole position, only just from Bad Wolf and Chanel, who's had some great qualifying, just unfortunate with the incidents. Alex takes 4th, just ahead of Free Gazelle by the slimmest of margin. And yeah, BCC Dan, Loopy and Doherty back down in 8th place there, so all pretty close. Obviously anything can happen at the starts of these, as we saw it in race 2, and away we go. 2 wide coming up to the line, formation lap, and away they go. Boosted, they've all been relatively calm at the moment, no big incidents, they've sorted that out a bit easier at Daytona, and the cones are going already, they've been launched. There's looked like by Chanel there. Oh, I think that's someone off the rail. Oh, that's Chanel absolutely flying in the air. Can't catch a break in these last two races. It's dropped. Was it Chanel? Oh no, it was Loopy. Loopy, my mistake, sorry. And as you see, Alex taking the lead from Wolf. Wolf going on the inside. Chanel 3rd place. BTC Dan just following. Looks like using the boost. And look at the speed. Oh, he's just hit the barrier to back out there. So that's going to cost him big time. Oh, and he tangles with Chanel. That's awful luck for both of them. Straight in the back. Oh, and they're in for dessert. Oh, and there's even more afters. They get a room, those two. And so we go back to the top 5 now. More cones flying everywhere. Chris takes the lead. Alex back in 2nd. Free Gazelle just going on the bottom line. Who will lose the boost first? Have to be careful in a pack like this. There's all together. We saw what happens when they go forward wide, and we see Stu now going down the middle of them, splitting them, boosting away there. Who's that on the grass? It looks like Wolf using the grass. There wasn't enough road for him apparently.
Yeah, it's been absolutely crazy when you see them like there's 3 wide and then 2 right in front of them. So it's certainly some of the onboards are a bit hairy, but they're still all going at it. And what a frantic start! Loopy bringing new meaning to the for those Flying Scotsmen in the last 2 races. But it's frantic battle here as well, and looking at the front, going at it. Just out a shot there, but see what happens. Yeah, five little pack here. Got somebody's on the try undertaking the flat. That doesn't always work out too well, but race 2 leaders Chris got himself the front here, so look at a frantic battle for the other podium spots just now.
Yeah, it's so sketchy when you're in a pack like this. You see Wolf riding high on the outer line, Stu trying to get the slipstream from him. As they use the boost, they go past Alex quite easily. So you see Dan and Chanel battling away. They'll be trying not to hit each other like they just did. Slide slide quite nicely. Back of the front, Free Gazelle now taking over 3rd place, ahead of Chris, who's dropped back down from 1st to 4th. Stu and Wolf ahead, with Alex dropping back a bit, but he might be doing a different strategy while using his boost. We'll have to see when it comes to straight. Is he using it out? It's hard to say. It looks like he's definitely catching up, but that could be slipstream. Is he looking in the middle? That's going to be very dodgy if he is. He's thinking about it. Oh, it just looks like he just backed out, but Chris is definitely using his, going down the inside, taking 2nd place from Stu, and Alex trying the same thing as well.
Yeah,
well, it's not quite working. You see Chris going to the 1st.
Yeah, it's so tight and bumpy, especially with the sort of tri-oval layout that we've got here in Daytona. It certainly makes the boosting a little more dicey as you see Alex getting himself up to 2nd place. But as you see, he's going for the move for the lead now, and he's pulled that off nicely. So that'll do for just now. But Chris will be thinking about when he can maybe get him back, especially if he's saving a bit of boost. It's difficult to say with how that works. And you see, little clip, and Stuart Davis is on the inside, but he's managed to hold it and he's got himself back on. But it's still very congested here as they're battling away.
Yeah, they all go around the outside of Alex. Oh, Free Gazelle having to check up there on Stu, so he's lost his boost now to the next time. As soon as you let go of that throttle, it's over. You've got to really hold it down and keep throttling. And you see the Chris going on the inside. Oh, banging wheels there, Stu and Alex. They're a common place between those two. They can't stop hitting each other when it comes to racing. And it looks like down the inside it goes Wolf again. Free Gazelle, not quite. They'll probably use the boost on this back stretch. That's where it seems to be most effective for him. Look, they're allowing Chris really to pull away with this battle, and they're not helping each other at all.
No, certainly not. It's still very, very frantic here in this bundle of cars. So they're doing great control not to have any further instance, but definitely very, very dicey between them all still as we look at Alex and Chris, and now Stuart Davis got to front here, so it's swapping a bit here, but they're all still in it in this pack of 5. They've been racing this for about for most of the race now, so they're doing well to hold it all together so far.
Yeah, especially with how much they're moving. Usually, when it comes, as I say, that a big biff there for Alex. Wolf having to take the infield. Looks like Alex is still going, but he'll be back right at the back of this pack at the moment. That's allowing Chris to get away. But how the hell they got away with that? No one knows.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be carnage there for Alex, but he just managed to hold it together and just bounce along, and he's kept himself in it. Now he's got himself back up to third, so got away with that one. But as we're looking at BTC Dan and Chanel just trying to battle away as they both recover, and after a very, very frantic incident at the start, but not too far away, but I think it's going to be between the guys at the front as we look at another very close quarters combat as Alex has got a bit of a break on now.
Yeah, going 3, almost 4 wide there. Chris back to second. He'll probably be closing up because he'll have the boost on Alex, who definitely won't have it. And just see the speed difference, slipstream boost around the outside. Alex won't be trying to defend that. He'll just be wanting to get the slipstream, tow him along as well. But then you'll have to imagine Stu, Wolf, and Free Gazelle will be wanting to come along as well. So it looks like here they come, all neatly in a line. They've decided not to do the pack racing at the moment until they hit that boost button, and here it goes. Wolf around the outside. Stu will be coming as well unless Alex closes that door. Looks like he's closed it off slightly. Yeah, Stu will have to go on the inside. Has to avoid Chris there. Chris a lot slower, as you can see. Wolf and Stu taking the lead. Now Free Gazelle will probably come along. Looks like he just tags the barrier slightly, but looks like Chris and Alex will be coming back through. Yeah, Alex definitely going through on boost, and so is Chris. Chris, it's championship leader Stu there, so that won't do him any favours, and that might have affected Chris as well, because it doesn't look like he's pulling away too much. He'll obviously have Alex's slipstream, but it's all argy-bargy at the moment.
Yeah, definitely a clip of that. You can totally lose your momentum, as seems to have had temporary effect to Chris, but he's getting back on it here as he goes for lead again. But little knocks like that can really upset your momentum, and that's Stuart drop back to the back of this pack as a result of that. Yeah,
you still have slipstream though, and here they come again. Alex out of favour because he's using a different strategy on his boost, and you just see the others all fly past him. Nothing he can do there. Chris takes the lead from Free Gazelle, from Wolf. Stu will probably get the inside line and undertake Alex there. But is see now Wolf absolutely flying with Free Gazelle taking the lead as well. I think that's the first time he's led this race so far, but we've had 5 or 6 different leaders. You see Stu now on the inside using the underside there to get through, but how long will it be? It doesn't seem anyone can have a lead for more than 2 seconds. It's like a weird game of tag at the moment.
Yeah, it certainly is, but it's not long left now, so another shunt into the side, but again loose side, and again this is getting a bit jumpy here, but they all seem to be kept pointing in the right direction for now, but it's certainly getting a bit more physical as we get to the business end of this race and championship.
Yeah, certainly it was last race of the Retro Championship. Only 3 rounds, but 3 races per round, so everyone will be really adrenaline filled for this last one, just trying to get the final win. As we see, looks like Stu going through the middle. Chris, that's Wolf and Free Gazelle, a massive crash on the front stretch there, and they're out. So what was 5 become 3 now. So that's really disappointing for those two. It was going so well for them. Back to the lead now. Alex holds the lead, slim margin from Stu, looking around the outside. Chris looking on the inside. And they collide. Stu's around, so that's disaster. It was inevitable between those two. They always seem to collide when it's not the best time to do so. So that leaves Chris ahead, but he doesn't have the lead like he did at Indy. He still has Alex chasing him, so this will be interesting as Alex comes now for the lead using his boost. There won't be long left in this 40-second lap, so probably the next lap is the last lap, you have to imagine. So all to play for here as Chris stored his boost up ready for it.
Yeah, definitely. Have they left off the tank? It looks like Chris is going for the slipstream here, and then has he got time to boost? No, it looks more like Alex has got more there. But yeah, it's certainly all the waves have parted for these two, as everyone else seems to get involved in an instant near the end, and now it's just come down to the final two. But yeah, we're into the closing stages now, so we'll see who can outsmart who here.
You see Alex weaving in trying to break that slipstream, but here comes Chris. He'll have the boost. Oh, going to the infield. That's not going to help him at all. You can see he scrubbed off a bit of speed there, but I have to imagine he'll have the boost any second now. Trying to get that slipstream again. Will Alex cover him off? Looks like he's trying to cover him. There's the boost. Here the revs rise. And across the line is Chris for win number 3 in the Lotus 98 from Alex. And then Frigazell gets the podium in 3rd place. Great drive from him. Then Chanel beats Stan. They stayed out of trouble in the latter half of this race. So they're becoming 4th and 5th. Will it be Chanel? Will it be Stan? Be Stan taking an interesting line. He's tried to shortcut it, but it didn't work in the end as they go through. And then Wolf, who sadly had the massive crash with Frigazell, coming home in 6th from Loopy, and Stu down in 8th. So will he get to 7th place though? He's really on the back of Loopy here in the final lap. All over with the slipstream. Goes side by side. Who gets it? Who gets it? Oh, it looks like just Stu. Oh no, Loopy got it.
Tightest the margins there though, my goodness. It was yeah, tense battle there, but I think it won't do much to harm Stuart's championship aspirations. But massive win there from Chris. Just pipped Alex right on the end there with the boost, the time to perfection to win by 0.4 of a second, and then Freaksville coming home for a good podium for him. Chanel recovering from a terrible start to get 4th, and Dan as well recovering at 5th. Wolf very unlucky, and as we see, Stuart's champion for the Classic Ovals. Yeah,
he takes the championship there for the Retro Ovals, 55 points to Chanel's 46. Then Chris with 41 in 3rd. He'll be gutted not to have got 2nd with those 2 wins from Loopy. He'll be kicking himself with the big incidents he had as well at the finale there, but he still just beats down by 1 point to see the confirmation for Stu being your Retro Oval champion. And we also got D-Man with 33. But that was your Retro Oval Championship. 3 different cars, 3 same tracks for each one, and I have to say that was great fun. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, great fun, and I hope you join us next time.